from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this, my flow I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking, you should hush bitch. I am from the heavy bass, my bro called a heavy case. Got a couple
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight, we will be smoking on the word care. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, God. Yo, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Like we talked a little bit off air, lost in the sauce, man. I've been so active and busy. Productive is what I've been, right? So I apologize to everybody that may feel ignored. I was 100% lost in the sauce.
I was 100% supporting my interests in living.
Hey, God.
Being peaceful, positive, and productive.
That's right.
Definitely.
What you got
Minding
going
my
on?
business. I'm just minding my business. That's all it is. But yeah, absolutely. Over here on this side, God, always thankful for another day. Man, looking forward to tonight's show. And like you said, getting a lot of stuff done. The past week been peaceful, positive, and productive. I've been supporting my interest in living. I think it's so nice we say it twice. And yeah, y'all, before we get into tonight's show, y'all, make sure to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode. Also, right now, it is the holiday season. So, don't forget that right now at the DBCHEFTV gift shop, we got 25% off all merch. Go ahead over there. You can help support. We love it. We appreciate y'all. Also, don't forget to hit www.bksoulfarm.com and get 1016-160 Self-Sustainability by the God Ali Dawood L. It is the perfect stocking stuffer, and we appreciate y'all. And you know what? If money's tight, it's all right. You can help us out by just smashing the like, because we all need help, right? So show us that you care and smash the like, and we'll be right here. And let's get right into tonight's questions.
I like that.
If you care. If you care. Well, like we said, y'all, we smoking on the word care tonight. And our first question is, what do you think of when you hear the word care? Second question, is care a moral obligation or a personal choice? Our third question, can you care without doing anything, or does real care require action? Fourth, does caring count if you expect something in return? And then our fifth and final, last but never least question, is the word care bad, good, or misunderstood? We appreciate it if y'all share your comments in the comment section, in the chat. Let us know what you think as we go through the show tonight. And we always gonna shout you out. We always gonna, engage you in conversation. And we appreciate you. Just smash that like button for us. We really appreciate that. So let's go ahead with our first question of the evening. Is the word, what do you think of when you hear the word care? The God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm.
Peace. So for
Peace,
me,
God.
when I think of care, Um, the first thing I think about is your heartbeat or my heartbeat. I think about things that matter, right? Like I think of and those things that matter essentially affect my heartbeat, right? Like they are my inspiration for a living. They are my willpower, um, hype man, so to speak, right? Like they my source, my inspiration, all that stuff, right? Because they matter. I'm striving for those things. When I think about caring, or when I think about what care is, I think about supporting your interest in living, right? More specifically, supporting your interests. Uh, I think that in my mind is synonymous with um, my heartbeat. It's synonymous with things that matter, right? Not doing that sounds detrimental to me, right? Or doing things that unless you're doing it on purpose, right? Like, again, support your interests and live, or, however you live, right? Like, I'm not your God, right? So I can't tell you how long you're supposed to be on this planet or what you're supposed to be doing. Um, I could just tell you if I don't like what you're doing and how it affects me, right? In our relationship. Um, and I would tell you that, if I care, um, because you would matter to me, right? But that's what I got. I think about support your interests. I think about my heartbeat. I think about things that matter. Like it's real simple for me, right? Because like once I start thinking about things that matter, it encompasses so many other things. When I think about my heartbeat, like it encompasses so many other things. So it gives me room to be wiggly with it a little bit.
To wiggle with it. Wiggle with it.
You know what I'm saying, God? That's what I got.
No doubt. What do I think of when I hear the word care? Well, let's reminisce for a second. Where did I first meet care? Probably with my mother's care. Um, and then the Care Bears. I saw them on ice one time. That was big. That's one of them childhood fun moments. The Care Bear at the escapades. The Care
It,
Bears on ice.
that was fire. I was a kid once and I was there. It was
You
fire.
know, they had the Smurfs on ice too. We didn't go see Snow White though, and the
Hell
Seven
no.
Dwarfs on ice, but we did see the Smurfs. We saw Sesame Street on ice.
That's
That
what I
shit
said.
was crazy. But yeah, the Care Bears. I'm going off track. But care. Um, a greeting. I mean, what do you call it? A goodbye? A goodbye. What is that called? It's not a. It's a goodbye, right? It's a greeting. What's the opposite of a greeting? A farewell.
Yeah, I
A
guess.
goodbye. Like take care.
Yeah.
Um, take care. Take care. Um, what else I think of when I hear the word care? Um, being responsible for a thing, for something. Um, nurturing something. Um, consideration for a thing. Compassion for a thing, because you care. Acknowledging a thing because you care. What else? That's really it. That come right off the top of the dome. when it comes to care, because everything that we care about, you put an effort into, you prioritize it. So I think prioritizing, putting effort into a thing, all of that is care. Because when you don't care about some shit, you don't care about it. So it really has no effect on you, regardless of what it's doing. You know. So yeah, so that's what I think about when I hear the word care. Yeah, y'all. So we just are answering our first question. What do you think about when you hear the word care? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. Chat. Let us know what y'all think of when y'all hear the word care. Um, or let us know in the comments below. We're gonna go ahead and get to the definition. And if you're new to the show, that's what we do. We go over our first question, and then we go and define the word. And the reason why we do that is because a lot of times in American culture, we have a lot of meanings that we apply to things, just like myself and the guy Ali Dawudel were just doing when we were answering our first question of what do we think of when we hear the word care. That's without knowing the definition of it and how the word should be applied. So a lot of people may agree with the things that we both just said, and that is how we apply it. But we always do the show so we can know if we are correct in our application and use of these words, but also if we can learn something, refresh ourselves, learning how it was supposed to be applied, and correct it if we're not, and if we are, then maybe even improve it, be better at our application of it. So that's the motivation behind it. That's why we do it. And you can do it too. So let's just bring up the definition of the word care. We have care as a noun and a verb. So, 1, suffering of mind, grief. A disquieted state of mixed uncertainty, apprehension, and responsibility. 2b, a cause for such anxiety. 3, painstaking or watchful attention. 3b, maintenance. 4, regard coming from desire or esteem. 5, charge or supervision. And it says especially responsibility for or attention to health, well-being, and safety. Charge, supervision. Then we have 6, a person or a thing that is an object of attention, anxiety, or solicitude.
Solicitude.
Solicitude. Solicitude.
Solicitude.
Okay,
Oh, like
solace of
solace,
two.
like being by yourself. A person or thing, the object of attention.
Have no idea. We're gonna have to
Oh
absolutely
no! Oh no, no, no!
pull up that word in the dictionary.
I know we saying that right.
Not
So I
gonna do that.
listen. So I listen
We
to
not
it.
gonna do that to ourselves on a show about words.
That should that should be one of those highlighted joints that you be clickable.
You would think they would do that. They were making like charge or supervision, but
You know what I'm saying?
who knows? Okay. Then we have the definition of the word care as in a verb. To feel trouble or anxiety. To feel interest or concern. To give care. To have a liking, fondness, or taste. To have an inclination. To be concerned about or to the extent of. And even to wish. And these are transitive verbs. Okay. So, y'all know what a real verb is. An intransitive verb is real action. I guess that's the best way to explain that. It's what's really going on. So, that is the definition of the word care. And we're going to go over to the thesaurus and see what they got. Okay. So we are giving care in many ways as a synonym. We get attention, concern, carefulness, worry, custody, stewardship, management, and as in to watch. So let's go ahead and dive in. As in attention, strict attentiveness to what one is doing. So like the guy had apologized earlier for those who didn't get the attention. It's because you was caring to what needed to be cared to. I was caring to what was necessary. Folks used to talk like that back in the day. I heard it. I know some old folks that used to talk like that. You know, I don't hear it too much now. But I get it. So we say attention, carefulness, effort, pains, precision, heed, meticulousness, conscientiousness, scrupulousness, concentration, meticulously focused, observation, heedfulness, responsibility, closeness, vigilance, mindfulness, watchfulness, observance, alertness, painstaking, bother, advertency,
Advertentia.
advertency,
Advertency.
advertency.
Yeah, say it fast. Advertency.
Advertency. Okay. Punctiliousness.
Punk. Hell no. Punctiliousness.
Punctiliousness.
Punk.
Tilly. It is tilly in there. Punctiliousness. Yeah. They would have got me out the spelling bee with that one. Trouble. Exactness. Advertence. Irreprehensibility.
Irreproachability.
What did I say? Irreprehensible. Irreproachability. Irreproachableness. Dutifulness and particularity. Okay. So that is as an attention. Then we go to concern. Attention accompanied by protectiveness and responsibility. Concern, carefulness, kindness, I'm just showing concern. That's all. I guess that's why you call me kind. So, what's this? Consideration, considerateness, thoughtfulness, lovingness, pampering, coddling, babying, even babying. That makes sense. What's that? What's this other one, God?
Which one?
Solicitousness.
I think that's the same one. That's the solicitousness. Solicitedness. Next to this, solitude. Oh shit. Solitudinous. I don't know, God. I don't know. We gotta push the button on that one.
We're gonna have to push the button on that one, definitely. All right. So then we have, as in carefulness, a close attentiveness to avoiding danger. Carefulness, caution, prudence, attentiveness, circumspection, alertness, wariness, cautiousness, vigilance, chariness, guardedness, watchfulness, gingerliness. I've never even heard anybody use gingerliness. It's so many words we just don't even use in the everyday vocabulary. And like this isn't even legalese. Heedfulness, observance, calculation, foresight, providence, deliberation, deliberateness, foresightedness, shrewdness, and canniness. Okay. Then we have care as in worry. And if y'all just joining us, make sure to smash that like button. We appreciate it, y'all. We are reading the definition and the synonyms of the word care. We have care as in worry, an uneasy state of mind, usually over the possibility of an anticipated misfortune or trouble. To worry. Concern, worry, fear, anxiety, concernment, unease. Solitude. I'm just gonna go with
solicitude.
Solicitude. I gotta get it right.
So the other one was solicitudinous.
Solicitudinous, yeah. Solicitudinous.
Yeah, we got that joint.
Okay. Perturbation. Uncertainty, fearfulness, agitation, uneasiness, tension, nervousness, disquietude. Where would you use that?
Right here.
Disquietude. I mean, like I'm trying to figure out like how to use that in a sentence, as in worry. Disquietude.
Might be like some old English.
You're full of disquietude. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
What did you just call me? What did you just say I was? I ain't gonna be quiet. I'm complaining about it. I gotta talk about it. So maybe that's the reason why they just said, nah, we don't need that one. Doubt, disquiet, anxiousness, apprehension, stress, panic, discomfort, desperation, sweat, apprehensiveness, anguish, nervosity, agita? What? Agita?
Yeah, agita.
Oh, wow. I don't know about that one. Distress, dread, upset, tremor, desperateness, disturbance, angst, dismay, consternation, suspense, strain, alarm, torment, jitters, handwriting, discomposure, distraction, compunction, cold feet, qualm, or qualm, or
Man,
qualm.
there's a lot of ways
That's
to say
depending
you
on where
care,
you
bro.
jumpiness, vexation, edginess, presentment, fractedness, scruple, incertitude, misgiving, foreboding. All right. Now we have care as in custody, responsibility for the safety and well-being of something or someone. Custody, guardianship, control, management, safekeeping, trust, custodianship, ward, hand,
Hmm.
supervision, keeping, superintendence, and governorship.
Governor.
Governor. As in stewardship, we have care as in stewardship, the duty or function of watching or guarding for the sake of proper direction or control. Stewardship, supervision, oversight, management, control, leadership, charge, guidance,
Police.
policy,
Oh,
policing,
I think that's policing.
policing, okay, surveillance, regulation, superintendence, administration, monitoring, government, superintendency, observation, headship, direction, observing, protection, running, observance, steering, guardianship, piloting, pilot, piloting, rule, generalship, shepherding, hands, auspicious, auspicious,
Auspices, I guess.
auspices, auspices,
Mm-hmm.
auspices, reign, trustee, tutelage, and
Aegis.
aegis,
Aegis.
aegis. Okay, and stewardship.
They just spelled it different. We just pronounced it.
It's crazy.
You see the A and the E like that? That's an E.
And then somebody will swear up and down, no, you're not supposed to pronounce it like that. Crazy. So, as in management, we have care as in management, the act or activity of looking after and making decisions about something. So we have management, supervision, control, handling, operation, administration, stewardship, oversight, direction, government, governance, guidance, regulation, leadership, presidency, charge, running, conduct, superintendence, custody, superintendency, intendance, protection, trust, agency, guardianship, logistics, safekeeping, engineering, manipulation, ward, keeping, lap, rulership, tutelage, generalship, aegis, and aegis, co-management, co-direction, machination, and co-administration. Then we have care in the verb form, synonym, as in to watch, to have an interest or concern for, to watch, to mind, to notice, to regard, to look out for, attend, to heed, to feel for, to observe, to note, sympathize with, and empathize with. And these are the synonyms of the word care. Going back to the definition one more time. Care is defined as suffering of mind, grief, a disqualified state of mixed uncertainty, apprehension, and responsibility, something that causes a state, a particular worry, concern, etc., a cause for anxiety, a painstaking or watchful attention, maintenance, regard, coming from desire or esteem, charge or supervision, a person or a thing that is an object of attention, anxiety, or solicitude.
Yeah.
And then as a verb, to feel trouble or anxiety, to feel interest or concern, to give care, to have a liking, fondness, or taste, or to have an inclination, to be concerned about, or to the extent of, and to wish. So, was any of the shit that we said at the beginning of the show
So yeah, yo, I was
was
that's what I
any of
was
it
yo,
a
when
smidgen?
so when you was reading, I was like, ah hell nah. Like what the hell is care, bro? But
It's
after
crazy.
going through all of the thesaurus and more especially like reading the synthesis underneath the definitions, it put it into a better perspective for me. So I would say we were spot on, right? Because when you talk about like the very first thing sounded crazy.
So
Uh
crazy.
you know what I'm saying? But then when you think about grief, like grief is crazy, right? You know, people grieve and they cry or they don't cry, they hold it in, they hold their breath, they breathe too much, right? Like they overeat, they exercise a whole lot, they don't exercise at all. Like grief make everybody's situation different, right? So um for that to be the very first definition of care, but like the way they defined it though was bananas, right?
What? Suffering of the
like,
mind?
like god damn, like no, like I don't want that.
You know? I mean,
but
I
but
I
that's
can
what
I
grief
get it
is.
though.
That's what grief is though, right?
I
Like
get it.
I
Yeah.
get that. Like if they just said grief alone, like fine, you get that, right? Care. But then even the rest of the definitions, you saw as a parent, we saw like even as a child, right? You start thinking about the way your moms loved you, where your grandmother raised you and loved you, and the things they warned you about, all your uncles and aunties and big cousins, and even all of the winos back in the days that was like, don't do this because this where you're gonna end up at. And I'm like, man, but you like you chilling. They're like, nah, young blood, don't do this.
They look like they was chilling. They was wine old crackheads at the liquor store. They wasn't chilling. They wasn't doing nothing but getting
Right,
high.
right. Like so I'm very appreciative of the sentences beneath those definitions because they spared my heart. Cause I'm like, man, talk about way off. Like, man, fuck care. Like,
I get it.
care sound crazy,
Okay, it
but
sounds crazy.
but when you break it down, that's why especially when I said what I said about being your heartbeat and things that matter. Um, Everything that we said, care requires work and requires effort, right? And that does sound crazy to a lazy person that don't want to do no work, that don't want to do any, that don't want to put no real effort in for real, right? Um, it's different to just doing things to looking at as motherfuckers would think that feeding the homeless and making sure that it's recorded and posted so that the world can see it is more important than actually feeding the homeless. Like I get it if you're getting volunteer hours and you're just trying to validate your time, that's one thing. Um, but if you're just doing it for likes and stuff, like now the question is how much do you care about what you're doing? Like, is your care more in the post or is your care more in this person? And that gets kind of like tricky, right? I mean, not really, but
Yeah, because you
unless you need
because you'll see
because
it.
unless you need credits, unless you need volunteer credits, right? Like, there's really no reason to
Yeah.
be recording yourself doing the something that you feel like something from your heart, right? Because you don't record and post everything that you do every single day. Things that you do for your heart, like, you just do them things.
Yeah, that's the truth. But not everybody though.
Not that,
But you
yeah,
know, yeah,
for the most part.
yeah, you talking about in your case.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah, I ain't recording.
I agree in my case because like when you look at my social media, I know people probably be on Facebook like he don't post. We don't know how you living. We don't know what you driving. We don't know about no this, no none of your personal. Everything you got is all about this DBCHEFTV. Hey, you know, it's my life. It's my whole life. I have nothing else going on. Nothing else going on. No highs, no lows.
just just
J-
me.
just podcast flows. That's it. You know, nothing else going on.
That's
But
funny.
definitely people will do post highlights of stuff. And I think that's what social media is, like a highlight reel, you know, because you never see people posting like they bad stuff. Like I think even if you go to the hospital and you post something, I think that's people trying to get some compassionate likes. So that is one of them things where if you volunteering, then you should really be caring. And that goes to our second question of tonight. Y'all make sure to smash that like. We appreciate y'all being in the building. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what you think of when you hear the word care.
Yo, God, you just said if you're volunteering, you should really be caring. Like, if you look at those sentences or those definitions for care, like, care is a serious thing, right? So if you actually are volunteering, if you are taking up your time and putting your mind somewhere for you not to care for real, like, that's wild.
Yeah, yeah, that's super crazy, especially volunteering.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially volunteering. But some people don't know what a volunteer is, though. Like when we go sign up for the military, you volunteer. There hasn't been a draft since the first whatever war, or not the first war, but whenever Vietnam was when they did a draft last.
Yeah, I
So
think
like,
so. Yeah.
so like everybody's been going. You've been volunteering. I'm going to go sign up an application. I'm volunteering for this job. You know, so you have to care. That's the thing. You there, and it's going to come with a lot of grief, a lot of anxiety, a lot of suffering of the mind, a lot of painstaking or watchful attention, a lot of maintenance, attention to detail,
That's what I'm saying, God.
a lot of charge, a lot of supervision. You know,
A lot of watch.
a lot of
Whew, a
watch,
whole lot of watch.
a lot of watch, whole lot of watch.
Whole lot of watch.
You know, and yeah, and you definitely are not going to be able to um relieve the watch until you get relieved. So
You can't quit, man. You can't quit. Oh man, yeah.
now you can't quit watch.
You can't.
You know, you could quit. You could throw in the towel at a boot camp or in the academy or something like that. You know, matter of fact, just a sidetrack. I seen people try to quit on active duty. Like, I don't want to be here no more. I was like, the shit do not work like that. You know, you got you got one option: go to jail and fast track your way out. You
Yeah,
know, because even if you trying to go, you come up with some head brain scheme, you're gonna be a while.
yeah, and which is probably gonna do your whole time by the time you actually
By the time you
win.
process, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
do what you need to do, and it'll be all right. Care, deal with the care, which is crazy. This definition blows my mind. But moving to our second question, is care a moral obligation or a personal choice?
So before we read the definitions, my thought process on care was a personal obligation, right?
No, a moral obligation or a personal choice.
Yeah, right. Like so it's like so I took away the morality from it. Like I don't think morality has anything to do with it. I don't know. Like it's because we pick and choose, right? Like we pick and choose when we
Yeah.
care. We pick and choose when we gonna cry, not who we gonna cry for. We pick and choose what which baby is not ugly for real, but we ain't gonna say that, right? But like, we pick and choose all the
Ain't no
time.
ugly babies.
Ain't no ugly, all
Ain't
right.
no ugly babies.
So because that's real, right? I got to take morality away from it and say that people choose to care, right? And how much they're gonna care and when they're gonna care, right? And more so how much they're gonna care, right? Because a lot of people can care less, right? They'll
Yeah.
do it, they'll do a thing and really care less about it. Um, so that's what I think. I think it's more of a personal choice.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you answering the question, you think it's a personal choice. But why do you think people would do something and not care about
I
that?
don't know. I
You know?
don't
Like why do that shit if you don't care about what you
know.
did? Like,
Like you just go through all these motions just to exhale when you could have just breathed. You breathing anyway, right? Like you ain't had to do all that stuff, right? I don't know, man. Like I don't get it. You know, and personally, I only like to talk about things that I can do. I don't like pie in the sky conversations. I don't like, if I ruled the world, like, I don't like those kind of conversations because like the likelihood of that becoming real is not high. So for me to put my thoughts and my mind and my imagination into a reality that can't come true, at least in my time frame, I can't see a way to that goal. Um, I don't think about stuff like that, and I don't like having conversations about stuff like that. I only want to talk about stuff that I can do. I just want to build and make money, God. Like,
no doubt. Well,
like, I don't
well
know why people.
definitely well definitely I looked at it like from basically what you were just saying. I looked at it like it's intriguing that because the comment that you made was that people will put energy into something and not care about it. And the thing is we see that a lot
Too
in
often.
actions,
Yeah.
you know. So it's intriguing because of the position that you just express of like I'm only interested in doing things that I care about and I have a goal. I'm doing things purposeful. I'm doing things with a purposeful intent. But there is a social dynamic, there is a pollution, there is something going on because there's more people that don't care about the thing that they're doing and just do it than there are of people who doing things with the purpose. So I'm wondering, is that one of them plantation things? Is that
I
one of
don't.
them plantation thinking
I
uh
don't think so, God.
residuals? Or is that, or is that just, are we learning that in school? Is it the school system that's getting people to this point? Is it at home where there isn't any discipline, any real discipline? Is it because we seeing, is it a lack of self desire to, to want to only be able to do things that you know, that you purposefully volunteer for, that you care about with that intent, like to bring that anxiety on myself. Um, you know, it's interesting to me.
You know, God, you know, I say it, I don't think it's plantation thinking because it's not limited to a particular ethnicity, right? Like I
No,
is
no, it's not.
I see a whole society that is on some old to me that everybody's getting turned into a bunch of mercenaries, right? Like everybody's just chasing the bag and doing anything for the bag, and like that's what I'm saying. Like the whole opportunist thing seems to be on the rise, where it doesn't matter if you're qualified or not qualified. It doesn't matter if you want to do this job or not. It doesn't matter um, if you care about this person or not. You just have to do the things that people are going to look at that might count towards your whatever progress you have in your mind for yourself, right? And and that's self-care, but kinda, right? Because you only caring about the fleshy part of you, the part that people are looking at, the part that people can see, right? That's the only part that's actually being serviced in that thought process. But that is a prevailing thought. Like everything is like my son tells me comes home and tells me so many stories about his teachers, or that the teachers that he hears in the hallways that make comments about, they don't really want to be teachers. They just here because it's a paycheck and they got to do something. They had to do something to pay back this degree, right?
Crazy.
Um, and for a child to be in an environment that society says that environment is a caring environment, right? So anybody that says, "Hey, this environment is not caring," you got society is jumping on top of them saying, "No, no, no, that's a caring environment because they're teachers. They teach. So why would anybody teach and not want to teach, especially children?" But apparently, there's a whole lot of people that's just out here chasing bags, just doing anything to get a dollar, to get whatever they need, right? Again, to support your interest and live, right? So it gets a little tricky, right? But if you're supporting your interests and you talking about the whole inside and outside, right? Like the things that you need to actually make yourself sleep good at night so that your belly don't hurt, right? You don't wake up with a headache in the mornings, right? Like that's just more than just chasing that dollar, right? And for whatever reason, like they got us society, they got society on a get money.
Yeah, fuck bitches, get money.
Right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much so where
Fuck niggas, fuck
it's,
bitches,
it's
get
known
money. Yeah,
it's known where
yeah,
you got females, or it's at least widely talked about females going
yeah,
overseas to get pooped on and stuff like that for an exorbitant amount of money. And it's like, that's crazy.
yeah. That is a different level what they
20,
call it
25, $30,000 is
of
like,
ladies of leisure. That's a
yeah,
different type of leisurely activity. That's something
you know what I'm
that's wild. But but definitely it always is a responsibility to talk about your own people first and try to offer some solutions to your own people first, caught up in the chaos. Um,
saying?
you
Yeah.
know, so that's one of the main reasons why when we don't say, we're not saying, is it plantation thinking, limiting the fact that we understand that the global plantation that the world is.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is no ignorance on that part. However, we see people participating in a lot of things where their activities result in things where they are not caring enough about the outcome, and that's what, and that's where that's why I asked that question, because from that statement that you made, that people will do things, like going to go volunteer and not care. People will go and teach and not care, those further examples. And it's like, okay, well, there has to be something that is causing that, for that to be universal, for it to be more people doing that than people actually saying, like, I'm a teacher because I want to teach. I'm not a teacher for the money.
Yo, God, you
I'm
said
not
the
a
word. You
teacher
said the
for
word outcomes, right? I think that's the part. Like, what are the what is the outcomes? Like, I think what you're saying right now, like, there's no way to know that if somebody's teaching from their heart because they want to, they believe children are the future, versus I just need to pay back this student loan.
children are the future.
You
Teach
know what I'm
them
saying?
well and let them lead the
The,
way.
the whole true
Show them
song.
all the beauty they possess inside.
All right, all right.
Yeah. Don't
It's,
let their future be denied.
it's the outcomes, God. That's the
Cause that's
word.
some bullshit though, for real. That the young God had to be in the environment to experience that. Like, I could see if teachers had those type of conversations in the teachers room and shit. What they call it, the
The lounge, your teacher's lounge.
teachers lounge. Yeah.
This was last week.
Yeah, but like, just to be able to just be almost like a fly on the wall and hear a teacher venting like that about, their own personal situation. You're supposed to leave that shit off the schoolyard, and come to
Yeah,
school with the purpose of educating. But
one would hope.
I guess that's just in a perfect world. So in the perfect world, the babies can get some good education. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Which is why I'm saying is a choice, right? Because it can't be about morality, because morality, the children would be the future, and we will be running to be the ones. No, let me teach the babies, or you know what? Nah. I'm not the one that actually teach the babies. They can come work with me later, but I can't actually teach them how to do this, right? Somebody
It
else
is
got to.
very rare. It's very rare
Yeah.
that you see um that like, I've never came across, except for one. I did. Let me not say never. That'll be not true.
Hmm.
I remember um my aunt, one of my Aunt Rose, and her whole family, they were teaching their children. They were teachers, they were educators, and they were encouraging their children to become educators, and they all became educators. Their
Mm.
boys. They had 3 sons. I used to go. They had all the video games and shit, like everything when I was young. Like, they had a computer before we even knew what a computer was. But like, they already knew when I used to go and spend a night over there sometime. They already, at that young age, were already like, they were gonna be teachers.
Hmm.
You know, that's what their parents had. Was shaping them to do. So I see so much less of that now. Um, in a shaping of something to do, it's more like they'll figure it out type situations. And then
I did my job.
in some of my research, they say, like, wealthy people don't do that. like wealthy people don't tell their kids they're gonna figure it out. They do like kind of like Aunt Rosie and them was doing. They be like, you're gonna do this, and we're gonna facilitate an environment for you to be exceptionally well in this. And that's something that I see, like even now when we go to the doctors and we see all of uh the Persian Indians from, we see that we see like an abundance of people from India that are now in these professional fields, in these medical professional fields. And I'm like, that cultivation has to be going on. They have to be telling their child, from you're gonna be a doctor. I don't care what kind of doctor, but you're gonna be some kind of doctor, and this will be doing. What I see our people doing, speaking of it, like I said before earlier, having some solutions is the majority of our people, not all, the majority of pushing this sports thing, like you're gonna be this one out of 400,000 or 500,000 to be the next, you know, NFL, NBA, MLB, you know, and then it's just like, but you could teach as a backup, you know, because
As
you
a
get a
backup.
degree. You know, well, at least you got your degree, you can go be a teacher, you know, and it's absolutely not where your heart was desired, absolutely not what you were focused on, and like your life's dream and goal was to, you know, you feeling defeated because you didn't accomplish that goal. And then now you in a place where you just looking at other kids and you like, do you motivate them, or are you still depressed? You know, are you still depressed about your own situation not going the way that you wanted it to go? And not saying that that's everybody, you know, that's a unique situation, just making some shit up. But
As we go.
yeah, you know, but it is one of them things where it's just like, if the educational if the professional degree mindset was pushed more in the rearing to the college, you know, it's so many opportunities, other ways. Everybody don't have to go to college, university to have a quality life, you know. But in pushing in that direction, it's like the sport should be the tool for the scholarship. The academics should be the thing that they want to give you, that you don't have trouble getting because your academics is already there, you know. And that's where I look at, like, when we say caring about it. Okay, if you break your leg, break an arm, break a limb, you know, then what do we do? What's our backup? So we got to care about ourselves enough to say, okay, I need to be, if I can't go over here and make you know, 400,000 a year as a rookie, or you know, $2 million a year as a rookie, then what over here in this field could I do? Even with where I ain't got my Diddy Bop. Pause.
Right, but
You know,
everybody run to teachers and police.
yeah, teachers and a lot of police officers was athletes that, you know. So,
They got a lot of regret and resentment.
you know, so I definitely think that there's a lot of fields out there too, you know, not just limiting the law enforcement
Yeah,
and
that's off the
and
top
the
of my head.
educators, but you know, but it is fields like that where people go into civil service duty,
Hmm.
type of employment careers, you know, and then feel as though like still holding some type of resentment from not being able to accomplish that other goal. And you know, and you don't know how it pours out, how the care is retransformed or redistributed in the other area, you know. So it's unfortunate the young guy had to go through that, but he in good hands though. Shout out to Sizway.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. we smoking on the word care tonight. Make sure y'all smash that like button, everybody in the building. We appreciate y'all for pulling up. And we're going to go ahead and get into our third question. Also, let us know what you think in the chat. What do you think about when you hear the word care? Is care a moral obligation or a personal choice? And our third question, can you care without doing anything? Or does real care require action? Can you care without doing anything? Or does it require action?
Every definition that you read, God, seemed like an action that it required some movement. It required some activity. It required an emotion. Everything required you to do something, right? That's why I say, right, like care requires effort. Care requires work. Even in the churches, they tell you, prayer without works is dead. Like you can't even pray to God and don't even walk in that direction. And
Say that one more time. You can't even pray to God.
That's what they say,
And
God.
it ain't gonna fall out the sky. It just don't work
You got
that
you
way.
gotta you gotta you gotta say please and then believe and go that way.
And do.
Right,
And then
right.
do.
And then do right,
Yeah.
like
Prayer
everything.
without works, without work.
Yeah, they
Work
say
is you doing something.
they say it's dead, right? So that's just the reality, right? Every definition that you read said work, said action, said activity. Not one was like even grief, like you like grief. Yeah, that's in your mind, in your heart, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's heavy. It's a whole process, right? So grief is not just a feeling; it's a whole process. It's an activity, a thing that you go through. It's the thing that you do, right? So yeah,
Definitely
God.
distressed. You're definitely stressed
You know what I'm
with
saying?
some grief.
All right, like
So
so it's all action.
oh 100%. You gotta care about it. Um, let's see. Can you care without doing anything? Nah, nah. I'm under the impression that everything you care about, like we talked about earlier in the beginning, was even some of the words that we used, they weren't, there were a few that were the synonyms when we were discussing what we think when we
Hmm.
hear the word care. But all of that seems like you have to take some action. You have to take some accountability, some responsibility that goes with that. Because how else do you care? How else do you care when we saw the definitions and it said to feel trouble or anxiety, to feel interest or concern, to give care, to have a liking, a fonding, or a taste, to have an inclination. So, I mean, all of these things have something going on.
Yeah.
They have something happening at that time, you know. And even the example they give, care for the safety, you know, care about freedom or having an interest or concern, care for the sick, even a likeness or fondness to not care for someone's attitude. All of these things have an action going on, have an action and a reaction. It's some energy being transferred. So I'm definitely with the idea that that you cannot care for anything without doing something. Yeah, you cannot care for anything without doing something. So let us know in the comment section, y'all, if y'all think, can you care for something without doing anything? Can you care without doing anything, or does it require action? Is it even possible to say, I care about that, but I ain't gonna do nothing? I care who the president is, but I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna donate any money, but I care about it though.
You 100% don't care. All right. 100% don't care. Yeah.
What else? I care about, my health, but I'm not gonna do nothing. I care about my finances, but I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna keep everything the same. Sometimes I heard this one person say to me. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they said, and I'm gonna try not to expose my relationship to the person, but they said, I don't care what people think about me. You feel me? And I was like, okay. I listened to them finish the whole rest of what they were saying. I don't care what nobody think about me. I don't care. And I said, who are you responsible to? I said, I'm listening to you. I said, but I have a problem with that, because I care about what people think about me. Okay. I said, now, not everybody. Some people don't matter. I understand that. All right. But the people that I feel responsible to, the people that I value their opinion of me, I care about what they think about me. I said, so who are you responsible to? And they was like, damn, I never even thought about it like that. I said, I know. Because you're busy trying to be so selfish that you don't even realize that there are a few people you care what they think about you. Or else you wouldn't conduct yourself a certain way around those people. So you sitting up here saying, I don't care what nobody think. Well, I don't care what a nobody to me thinks either.
And that's a fact.
That's
a
they
fact.
are nobody.
Don't matter.
Like, do not matter at fucking all. You ain't stopping nothing going on.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't hicking up nothing. Ain't no bumps in the road. It don't matter.
I don't even hear you for real.
We don't see you. You know what I'm saying? So that was interesting to me when they said that, because I was just like, dang, like, you don't care what nobody thinks. Nobody
at all. Like, not one person.
I'm like, so you just a whole piece of shit. Like, you just a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just fuck the world and everything in it. And that's what that person I was talking to was just like, I never thought about it like that. Like, I never thought. And I'm just like, look at you projecting it, bro. You know, you projecting it. You projecting it, saying, I don't give, and you reflecting it. I see it. I see it. But then you look at the quality of your life and you want your life to improve, but you don't care what nobody think about you. How?
The things we say and the things we say we don't care, but want our life to improve.
But want your life to improve.
Man.
When you can't do it by yourself, I can't do it by myself. That's the reason why the people that I value what they think about me.
Facts.
The people that I have relationships with, I value, right? We ain't talking about nobodies. These people are somebodies to me.
Somebodies.
You know?
These are the bodies.
These are the bodies. You know? So yeah, so it's easy to say I don't care with nobodies, but have you clearly defined who the nobodies are? And then if you clearly define who the nobodies are, why are you wasting your time and energy articulating that you don't care what a nobody thinks about you instead of focusing on the somebodies or yourself with those somebodies who can help you improve the quality of your life? But being so eager and carrying so much hate to be selfish, to say, I don't care what nobody thinks. Are you that nobody?
You gotta be, right?
I ain't asked that person that because I think that it would have been too much at form at one time. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what they saying though, right? Like, and that's what wind up what you say. That's how they wind up living their life out, not on purpose, but on purpose,
Yeah.
right? Because they saying it and like they trying to stand on that,
and they trying to stand on that and keep
right?
having problems, and they
It
don't
was,
realize that they are the problem.
the word you just said, God, they eager, right? Like they eager, like they're aggressive with it, right? Like they trying to stand on. I don't care what nobody, and forget that they are somebody.
And forget,
Like you got like the mirror still shows your reflection. Like every time you walk past some water, a glass, like it's there. Like that's you. Like you don't care about you, Eva.
yeah. So that was interesting to me because I was just like, damn. What are some things, some sayings that you have heard people use the word care? God, what do you?
I can
We
care
got
good
some time.
goddamn. I can care less.
I
Like man,
could care
people
less.
they they
Yeah,
they they flagrant with it. Nah, they
I could care less is one.
yeah.
You know,
I got it's like a bunch of like a different variations of that same old I can care less crap though. Like
yeah. I can care less. I think is okay when it's applied correctly. Um, but I do think like when people harping on that though, like when they constantly using it, when that's part of their vocabulary on a regular basis, because that's not even I could care less. Like I can't even remember the last time I said I could care less. You know, I know I care so much about things. I'd be like, man, I'm just disappointed. Like I don't even be like I don't care. I just be like I'm just disappointed that the shit even have to be like this, or like I accept things how they are, because I'm a big serenity prayer guy, you know.
man,
So I accept things that the wisdom know the difference and accept that I can't change, and if I can't change it,
I think that's a Pisces thing too. Like, cause
that don't mean I don't care,
nah,
because I'm still on watch, you know.
I still got these.
Yeah, we still got these still working. I got, some helpers, but I just need these for my night vision. But yeah,
Right.
but I'll be more like, damn, like I'm just like, damn, I'm disappointed, you know, that there is a solution there is a better way. There is a more productive way, more positive way, more peaceful way, a better way to support our interests and live, you know. But it's like when you're looking at the other side don't see the same thing.
And I think God, like, is because we using the wrong words most of the time, right? Because you just said the word disappointment. Like that be a lot of what we be feeling. And instead of saying I'm disappointed, I feel disappointed. He said, I can care less. I can care less about that chick. I can care less about this job. I can care less about my mom. I can care less about this. When you really are just disappointed, right? And you're not embracing that, you're not dealing with that, you're not addressing that at all. And it just trauma that further builds a messed up character. Well, not I don't want to say a messed up character, but like a character that needs more chipping.
Yeah, but that's still messed up. That's still
Like,
messed up.
right? Like, I don't want to say
Cause
messed up because like
where
everybody,
do it spill out? Because it'll spill out other
yeah,
places. See, like,
everywhere else.
yeah,
Yeah.
like one of the things that you just had said, God, was like that's where the accountability comes in, right? Because you said if I'm disappointed, right, and I instead of saying I could care less, me saying I'm disappointed allows me to even look at my own actions in the mix of it.
Why am I
Okay,
disappointed? I get
why
the
am I
why
disappointed?
am I dis-
Because when I'm looking for a
Yeah.
solution, I'm looking for what I can do, you know,
Correct.
for
Correct.
solution. So
Correct.
being disappointed just allows me, I don't like to be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like we like to win, we like to be successful, we goal oriented, we take our time and do shit, but hey, it's a whole bunch of sayings. You ain't gotta rush down the hill and you ain't gotta run down the hill. You know what I'm saying? You can walk
But
down the
man,
hill,
but once you get
you know?
disappointed though, I make a plan and I work
Yeah.
that plan.
And that's it. And whatever those variables are that you have to use
Yeah.
to accomplish that goal, whether it's a sustainable one, or it requires something that has to be altered, you know into the goal, but the goal don't change. So it's
Correct.
like, so it's just like that's a part of the learning in it. That's the lessons, the learning lessons, where so many people, that I think that's a mindset of I could care less about it, is like that's a win or lose mindset person. That's not a winner all the time.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's a spectator to me. That's a looking ass motherfucker, right? Because they're not in the game. Because if they don't care about winning or losing, they can't be playing,
No,
right?
no,
Like,
no. Not that they don't care about winning or losing. They are a win or lose person. They
mm,
not winners. Okay. See, a win or lose person is like a person who's like they trying to one up. They try to tit for tat. Get back. I won. I'm
Okay,
getting
okay,
the last laugh. I'm getting the this, to that. They don't look at it. A winner is just like, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm learning the whole process.
correct.
So if I'm reaching a goal, if I set a goal and I go through this and I don't get this result, I just learn what not to do. So I learned I won. You know, I'm not on some, oh, well, I won this, well, I lost this, I won this, I lost this. No, the goal is the sustain, right? So the goal is to maintain. That's what I'm looking for. The goal is to maintain, to get to it. So it doesn't matter if I hit a hiccup. That's not a hiccup. That's not a bad thing. It don't matter if I hit a roadblock. It don't matter if I hit a bump. It don't matter if I have hit a corner. It don't matter if I get a flat tire. You know, what are we doing? We learning. I just learned I need to fix my tire so I can go ahead and get to my destination. I just learned it's a corner right here. So if it throw me off, guess what? Now I know it's a corner right here. I can restart and I can, when I get to this corner, I know where to turn. So I'm winning because I'm constantly learning. And it don't matter whether it's conflict or something that's easy. Because the things that's easy, all we do is celebrate it. We just be like, you know what, this was easy. Boom, got it done. Okay, cool. Next project.
Yeah, nah, there's no losses in care, right? Like this is all wins because those things are personal. Those things are the things that you chose, the people that you chose. So
It's no losses.
no
It,
losses.
yeah. How could it be a loss in care? You know, except for the energy exerted. And
Yeah, but
but you gotta do, you're alive, you gotta do
you
something,
got to do that.
right?
Yeah, you can't get that back. Like,
You know, and that will take us to um our fourth question, with the guy Ali Dawudel BK Soul Farm said you can't get that back. Does caring count if you expect something in return? Does caring count if you expect something in return?
so I'm gonna go back to the word that you use, God. The outcomes is about the outcomes, right? Um, per the definition, then what you getting? I don't know. That's it's kind of tricky now because like what you getting is it could be just internal solace or whatever, right? It could just be satisfaction of doing a thing.
Well, we gotta remember the definition, because the definition is suffering of mind,
Grief, yeah,
right? Grief. We gotta remember it's a disquieted state of mixed uncertainty, apprehension, and responsibility.
anxiety, yeah,
Cause for anxiety, painstaking, watchful attention, maintenance, you know, regard coming from desire or esteem. So,
yeah. Like, but
you know, and then we also have care, to give care, right? To have a liking, fondness, or taste, to feel interest or concern. So,
see, for me, like it still goes back to the outcomes because like why are you doing the thing, right? Because you talk about a caregiver, somebody taking care of a patient that actually needs somebody to be their hands and feet.
mm-hmm.
In my mind, the person that takes on that responsibility wants to be the hands and feet for other people,
Okay.
right? So the outcome of that would be them actually doing a job. I don't see that person posting it on social media though, right? So I don't know where they would get what where they would get any other outcome other than them actually doing their job. So I don't know, God. Like I don't know. This is a tough one for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna drop this one on it. Does caring count if you expect something in return? And I'm going to use some of the things that you were saying. I think caring does count if you expect something in return. To use your example first, um, I don't think that posting it on social media is the reward. I think that if that person wants to be that person's hands and feet, like you said, okay, then that is their reward. They want that person to feel uh adequate enough. They want that person to have a fantastic day. They want
Yeah.
them to get that care that they received, that they were able to provide for them, you know. So if that is the joy that they get, that is the reward that they get from providing that care. If that's what they get in return, then I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I
Now,
agree.
it would be something wrong if, and I'm not even gonna say it would be something wrong. If they promoting their business and that's what they do, and they putting it on social media, then it may be a method to the madness. But if it's some, look what I did today type shit, I mean, they may be being proud of what they done.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm saying?
saying,
They
right?
may be being proud of who they helped. Who knows? Like it's so many ways to not hate on it, and then there's ways to hate on it.
Yeah,
So
it's tough. That's what I say.
but looking at it from a reward of being self-rewarding, like some things, like in particular with your example, yeah, you know, um, I talked about earlier, like join the military and everything that you go through dealing with that. You know, it's so much anxiety, it's so much maintenance, it's so much this, it's so much that, all these things that correlated with care. But in the end, yeah, you definitely looking for something in the end, you know,
Look for your
and
entitlements.
your benefits,
Yeah.
so you're looking for that in the end, and I don't think that putting that care into it, that devotion, that respect, that honor, all of that stuff into it, that you would not be looking at the end for, like, okay, so a lot of time people grow up in the military, go in young, you do a career, like you pretty much grow up in that.
Mm-hmm.
People may know you from a child to your older teens, but then they miss your evolution from teenage years to grown ass man, or woman,
And a whole lot done happened.
you know. So while you're caring and investing that time and that space and maintaining it, people still going on, life going on, doing whatever they got going on. But and they have things too. It's just like even the teacher that was talking about that was being a potty mouth at school. The teacher, wants to be there and put in that time to get their student loans paid off. All right. But if they're going to be a teacher, then they still want to be there for the whole 30 years or whatever to get that pension.
Right.
It's just when we talking about care, all right, according to the definition, are they there to care?
Are they there to care for the children,
Yes.
education, or are they
Yes.
there to care for their pension?
Are they there to care for the children?
And so it would only have to be for the children, right? Because to be a teacher,
it come with the job, like all
so
teachers.
it come with the job. So
Yeah.
so the pension couldn't even be a thought process, right? Or it shouldn't be a thought process. It would have to be about educating these young minds for the future and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, but according to the definitions, it's not required. Like we're making it work. Understanding the synonyms.
Yeah.
And how they break down the definitions. Because there's a case to say, okay, yeah, they should be caring. When we look at the action of to give care, to feel interest or concern, then you should be interested in the success of the children. You should be concerned about the children's well-being and how educated they are, and not want to just pass them on to the next grade on some No Child Left Behind, but they're gonna be dumb in society, either prison or a coffin or a ward of the state, or a welfare recipient, and negatively because people just dropped the ball on them
early.
That's it. Not that they didn't ever had a potential to do something else or be something better, but people were just lazy, like, and they didn't have anybody there to give them the supervision to encourage them, you know. So care is one of them things that's defined in such a way that it's like it's so many different meanings that have been given to it because of all these damn synonyms that have been attached to it, with attention, concern, carefulness, worry, custody, stewardship, management, to watch. But this is probably one of the biggest words in our culture that has so many meanings, you know. And I don't even think people even look up this word or have looked up this word ever. I think just using it socially and I don't care.
That's enough.
That's enough. Who cares? And that's really it. It's become more of a cliche than an actual word that should be applied correctly.
Like if it wasn't for the Care Bears, for real, like I think that's where a lot of us get our definitions for care. Like it's,
yeah, my favorite bear was Love a Lot Bear.
you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like they had
shit pop off. He's just the heart come out. You know, he always pop off with the heart.
You know what I mean? Like
that was my guy. But yeah, but definitely. So we have been going over our questions tonight, y'all, for the word care. Our first question, what do you think of when you hear the word care? Let us know in the comment section below or in the live chat. Secondly, we had, is care a moral obligation or a personal choice? Also, let us know. Can you care without doing anything, or does real care require action? Let us know in the chat, y'all, or in the comment section. And does caring count if you expect something in return? Let us know. You know, like some people, the way they use it as a meaning, the way we use it as a meaning and not necessarily according to the definition. Some people would disagree and say, you know, you shouldn't do something that you care about if you're trying to get something in return. You know, we've heard that that mindset in giving, and doing charitable things. People associate that with care. Volunteering, like the guy was saying earlier, people associate that with care. So, you know, when we talk about these things, let us know. Let us know, y'all, because I'm saying if you care about something, it's okay to expect something in return. Now, of course, we have levels to it. You know, we have ideas of what we think it should be, or, you know, what's bad or what's good, but, you know, it's definitely left to interpretation. It's definitely left to interpretation. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into tonight's flavor bombs before we answer our last question. And let's go ahead and jump into that.
The flavor bombs presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
Okay, y'all, so we got West Palm Beach, Operation Old School. And then we gonna fly out to Cali, to San Jose, and they got Operation Family Ties. And I know everybody's like, what the hell is all these operations? Well, West Palm Beach Operation Old School was a drug bust, and it was crazy. They had a lot going on. Figure,
What?
yeah, they had a lot going on, you know, and the reason why they call it old school, you'll see why they call it old school, but like we always say, y'all, like crime, if you out here doing crime in 2025, just, you must want to go to prison, okay? Because that's the only thing that's gonna happen. And when we pull this up and we talk about some of this stuff, like we gonna break it down, chop it up. Y'all gonna see why. Crime does not pay. All right, and then that's gonna take us to San Jose, and they got Operation Family Ties. Some more crime that just don't pay, and it's crazy. I wish that, and I looked for it. I wish that there was like and I typed this in just being curious about it. I typed in high schools, middle schools with the highest grade point average.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find a video.
Mm.
I couldn't find a video to be able to highlight a school or a county, that had really exceptional students, where like the whole school was like, everybody was on the damn principal list. They don't cover that in the news. They don't cover stuff like that in the news that motivates us, that motivates Americans. We got to get stories like the guy was just sharing, where his son got beat in the school, the young guy got beat in the school, where the teachers are complaining about that they don't really want to work, or how they're only there, just for this thing or that thing, other than to educate, other than to see the success of the babies, of our tomorrow, of our future. Because if anybody knows how this tax-paying thing works, if you don't have people that can pay jobs, that can have jobs that can pay taxes, then the whole thing kind of collapses. So we're gonna get into these videos.
It's crazy.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the face of public safety.
Since June 2023, multiple law enforcement agencies have teamed up to target what they say is a major drug ring in West Palm Beach and across the county.
The investigation began in June of 2023 and accelerated in 2024, following a record increase of fentanyl overdoses in our area. Detectives identified this organization as the primary source of fentanyl and meth trafficked between West Palm Beach, Belle Glade, and the surrounding region.
Investigators say 13 search warrants were served at the same time on Monday, leading to the arrest of 25 street-level dealers and 8 alleged leaders of the organization.
8 organizational leaders were charged with racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, and 56 additional felonies. 25 street-level dealers were charged with 53 additional felonies and other offenses.
Investigators also seized a large number of drugs, including cocaine, heroin, PCP, meth, and enough fentanyl to kill as many as 3.6 million people. They also recovered 9 guns and over $175,000 in cash.
This operation reinforces something important. Our city will not tolerate criminal networks that bring drugs, violence, and fear into our neighborhoods.
For far too long, an entire neighborhood has lived under the shadow of a drug trafficking ring that has been pumping illegal drugs like fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, and others into this community. That is until now.
Investigators say the case remains open with 3 suspects still at large as the search continues. Chief Tony Araujo wrapped up with a strong warning for anyone considering selling drugs in our community.
If you're pushing poison in this region, beware. We're on 24/7. And let me let you in on something. The community isn't tolerating it.
In West Palm Beach, Michael Hoffman, WPTV News.
Let me let you know something. The community is not tolerating that bullshit.
Now, if you're pushing poison, not if you're pushing poison. Wow.
Not if you're pushing poison, right?
3 million people. They said it had the potential to kill 3 million people.
The Fenty, yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. And
that's crazy.
What was sad though is that you seen how old everybody look. Everybody in there kind of had gray hairs.
Yeah.
And, you know, look well over the age of knowing right from wrong.
Yeah.
So that, I guess that's why they called it Operation Old School. But the key, one of the key takeaways is that they said they sat on them for 2 years.
Yeah.
And this is why we don't promote no illegal activity whatsoever. None. Zero.
They did let it happen for 2 years, watching them do it.
They see, and this is why I always, this is like my my public service announcement, my PSA to all the thugs, all the trappers, all the YNs, or whatever they want to call themselves now. They'll sit on you and watch you, dummies. And there's people who will miss their babies' recitals, their soccer games, their football games, baseball games, their chess club, their whatever they got going on. They will miss this shit to lock your dumb ass up. So if you want to be a gangster, just realize all of them that would just say they Christmas, New Year's is fucked up.
For a long time.
Ain't no criminal New Year for them. All right? I like Christmas and New Year's, even if I don't celebrate it. Okay? If I don't get a tree, if I don't get a gift, guess what I got? The gift of freedom. The gift of freedom. To follow the damn rules, okay? To keep my ass out of this penitentiary. So, crime don't pay. Let's go ahead on over to San Jose.
Craziness. They about to get like 50 years, God.
Easy.
A South Bay law enforcement task force says it's busted a sex trafficking operation. It involves a series of massage parlors acting as fronts for prostitution. And police say one family is at the center of it all. NBC's Robert Honda joins us from the DA's office with the latest.
The crackdown on alleged brothels in the South Bay was called Operation Family Ties because the prosecutor here said it was a large operation that generated huge profits, all run by a family in San Jose. It was called Takedown Day, December 3rd, when a Santa Clara County task force run by the district attorney's Bureau of Investigations closed down what it called 10 active brothels in the South Bay and one in Hayward for human trafficking and prostitution. A neighboring business owner of one massage parlor, who asked not to be shown, said the community knew what was going on but felt helpless to stop it.
I never approved of it in the neighborhood, especially with the neighborhood being so close. Now, if they were so far away, like an industrial area or in the city, it might be a different story. But to have it so close to the community with families, that to me is a little bit too much.
The investigation started in June when Morgan Hill.
So they could sell box on the industrial areas, but they can't do it, you know.
Yo, yeah, he was lying, God. Like, come on. It's like, we ain't got a problem with it. We just got a problem with it right here.
Yeah, right.
But we all knew it was happening. We just felt powerless to stop it.
We felt helpless.
Because we kept going there and patronizing.
Right. Nobody called the police.
That's like, what?
It don't sound right. Let's see what they talking about.
Police reported someone suspicious applying to open a massage parlor there. Prosecutor Monroe Tyler says the task force traced the application to a father, mother, and son of the Bresse family in San Jose, who investigators say ran the network of brothels.
We think that they were making about $1 million a year. That's a rough estimate based on back extrapolation of bank accounts. They, from 2019 to 2024, made about $3.9 million. Much of that was made without filing taxes.
The family members face 26 felony charges, including pimping, money laundering, and tax fraud. 40 women were involved in the operation, and 18 were recovered and offered victim services. I went to the Brosset family home where members were gathered, and they declined to comment except to say they were supporting each other.
This type of work in general poses serious dangers to the community. It's degrading and dangerous work for the victims that are involved, and it leads to a lot of intersectional crimes like homicide, robbery, sexual assault that we've seen in other cases that have been prosecuted in this county.
Tyler says this is an ongoing investigation and more arrests are possible, but at this point, the family accused of running Operation Family Ties has a plea date on February 20th. In San Jose, Robert Honda, NBC Bay Area News.
Man, lock their ass up too.
Yeah, I'm thinking everything with sex right now with the whole Diddy thing is getting as much time as they can possibly give you. That's how I feel. Like I feel like they just, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
The guy said, well, you know, they were doing it right here. If it wasn't so close to the community,
So I'm
and maybe
saying,
they
yeah.
were doing it down by the airport or down by the truck stops or down by then that's fine.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And that was speaking to somebody in the community who felt helpless.
Yep.
And I just wanted to point out that, like, sometimes the news will be saying some stuff, but you got to really be paying attention. Like, I mean, I only watch the news for our show and for Brunch with the Fellas Friday nights at 9 p.m., y'all. You know, that's the only time I actually look for news.
Besides that.
Yeah, like, other than that, I'm completely dumb, deaf, and blind to the news.
You ain't the only one.
You know, but it's because of things like that. Like I don't have to see this foolishness to know that if I want to start a business, I'll struggle with a clothing line before I go and want to pimp, you know, and start human trafficking and do all that. And I mean, they said it was a family business. It was the husband, the wife, and the son.
And the community said that we didn't necessarily have a problem with their activities. We just had a problem with it being right here.
The location.
Because the whole community knew it was happening, apparently, and they all felt helpless to stop it. Like, who else is going there besides the members of the community?
And how did they feel helpless? They might have been weak in the knees from visits.
9-1.
You know, they might have been weak in the knees from visits, but wasn't nobody helpless.
Helpless, guy? Like, come on.
And they had 10 locations.
Yo, and whoever don't want to show their face about some stuff like that, I'm like, man, that's suspect. Like, we ain't talking about, I don't know, like they might be like a mobster family. I don't know. Maybe they more gangster than, I don't know.
The son, the mother, and the dad.
I'm just saying that the community was all patrons. Like, come on, son. Like,
I think so. Yeah, but you know, message to the wise to be wise. You know, crime does not pay, y'all. That was drugs, you know, and that was, you know, sex trafficking and pimping and all of that other stuff. Like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. But all they criminal is fucked too. Okay?
And they gonna get fucked.
You know?
Because they get locked up on some sex stuff, so.
You know, like, I don't know about that. I never been to the penitentiary.
That's what that's what they do in the movies.
That's what they do in the movies. I mean, I ain't never heard of a pimp getting violated in prison like that because they was pimping. But I do know that now that young man's life from the guidance of those parents is now ruined. And I don't know how old that young man was, but either way, his life is now he gonna spend all the rest of this, whatever they give him in prison. They had like 3.4 million over a certain amount of years. So that's the tax evasion for that. So that's federal. Then whatever state charges come with the trafficking of humans
Yeah,
and all of that other stuff that'll follow under that, you know. So who knows what type of things that could be added, kidnapping, it could be so much stuff that just get after them charges get all finished, after they finish up that charge sheet, what they get indicted on could be crazy. Okay. So let this be a lesson. Crime don't pay.
Hell nah.
Get a trade, join the military, start a business, stream.
Do something.
Do something other than crime. Okay? Because you'll get old, but you won't get old out here on the streets.
That's crazy.
You've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
Yeah, y'all. So, welcome back. Y'all, we are smoking on the word care tonight. If you just joining us, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button. We really appreciate it. Also, we got a 25% off sale going on right now at the DBCHEFTV gift shop. Go check that out. Also, we got 1016 160 self-sustainability by the guy Ali Dawood at www.bksoulfarm. Go grab that and see what other awesome things are on that website for you too. We appreciate it. And if money's tight, it's all right. Once again, y'all just smash the like. We're going to go to our fifth and final question, last but never least. Is the word care bad, good, or misunderstood? The God Ali Dawood at BK Soul Farm.
In general, the word care is misunderstood. I think too many people can care less and don't understand the implications of just saying that, right? I don't think that we care for ourselves enough. I don't think that we have enough self-love. I think we've been taught as a society to practice self-hate so much. That whole keeping up with the Joneses, the whole grass is greener on the other side. Like to me, that's all self-hate stuff, right? Like and we've come to covet the stuff that our neighbors have, and that's all we're being marketed is more fleshy, more surface level, more stuff. Nothing that actually benefits the body or the community, right? It just benefits a person, right? Which is to me surface level, right? Like
yeah.
So because of that, I think is grossly misunderstood. I don't think that we know how to care or why we should care. Therefore, we don't practice care. It's crazy. Like we really practice self-hate. We don't practice care. Practice. We go out of our way, right? So yeah, that's what I'm at with it. God, I think is misunderstood totally.
Totally misunderstood. And man, I mean, I couldn't have exchanged that insight more eloquent than what you just said. So just to piggyback on it, just a smidget, you know, it's definitely misunderstood. But everything you said, it's, you know, I mean, really just close the curtain, because people not gonna do the research, and we out here caring, not caring, you know, not caring. We out here caring not to care.
Working hard at it.
Yeah. And that's it's sad, but hopefully, you know, hope. A dangerous strategy.
You gotta care to have hope, right?
You know, I mean, I guess.
I think.
I guess. I don't believe in hope, because I think hope is a dangerous strategy. But I mean, I can't, you know, whatever works. Whatever will work.
That's how bad with it, guys.
Yeah, whatever will work, because because what works for me may not work for somebody else. You know?
Right.
So whatever will work, if it's hope, if it's optimism, if it's a guess, if it's a guess, if it's just hey, roll the dice, like we always say, if you're trying, then you're not failing. Because
even
fail
hoping is
to
doing
not
something.
try.
Rolling the dice is doing something. Everything you said is
Yeah.
all doing stuff.
It's doing.
It's not just what he says. Not a winner, not a loser. Like it's all
Yeah.
doing. It's all doing stuff.
It's all doing. Yeah. People want to be winners and losers. Oh, I won. Oh, I lost. Oh, I won. Oh, I lost. Oh, I'm gonna make you lose. Oh, cause I'm gonna win. Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Nah, like just win all the time. Like you can learn from everything. So even if you feel defeated, you don't have to feel defeated. You can feel like I learned something. I don't need to do that. Now, you're gonna lose. You are a loser if you're doing things negatively. I'm gonna stand on that. If you're doing things negative with intention to hurt somebody or intention to cause drama or trauma or because you are jealous or envious or whatever it is that a person is going through because they don't care, be careful who you do that to, because sometimes those people don't have to do nothing to you. The universe will take care of you because they don't have to do nothing. Because you don't know, everybody don't know who energy people be playing with. So, you have to realize that caring is important, and this helps tonight. Smoking on this word helps us be able to apply it correctly, because man, we had a lot of meanings for this word. And this is, I think, is one of the most confusing words, like you said, misunderstood, used in American culture today. So we want to thank everybody for pulling up, y'all. Once again, go ahead and smash that like button. We appreciate it. Don't forget about the sale we got going on right now. 25% off all merch at the DBCHEFTV gift shop. Also head over to www.bksoulfarm.com and get 1016 160 self-sustainability. It is the perfect stocking stuffer and tool to have going forward into the new year. We want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. It's a good time. It's the 15th, y'all. We halfway through this. We halfway to the new year.
Yeah.
We are halfway to 2026. It is upon us.
That's crazy.
It is upon us. The world was supposed to blow up in 2000. Not so much. Maybe inflation, maybe the economy a little bit, but
damn.
but not so much of the whole world. But we appreciate everybody for pulling up, y'all. Go ahead, smash that like again. If your money tight, it's all right. Just go ahead and smash that like. We appreciate y'all. And that's all we got. We'll see y'all next time right here on Cigar Sundays Live. Going down each and every Sunday at 8 p.m. East Coast time with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV and the God, Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. Until next time, peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016-160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again, where families make new memories, share old memories, and celebrate the new year. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop for the best stocking stuffers to add to your holiday cheer. Enjoy 25% off our entire site now through January 5th, 2026. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast, The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel. Smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.